You know, the Tide Test match is one of the great games ever played. Unfortunately, it doesn't get the profile as the original Tide Test match in Brisbane between Australia and the West Indies. The television coverage is not as good as it is today or was back then, and so we missed a lot of the the tension that was built up over those 5 days, and the conditions we played in, the heat and the humidity and just the little one-on-ones, little personal battles that were played out between India and Australia. It was just one of the great games. I mean, Dean Jones's double hundred, was the making of Jonesy. So many great performances. Greg Matthews took 10 wickets in that game. I mean, there's not many Australian spinners who have ever done that in the subcontinent. So, just fantastic individual performances from us and India. The ultimate result, a tie, just euphoria, really.
It's my first Test 100, but people think, oh, hang on, it's one of the great knocks of all time. But people see, and many journalists and quality people, and wrote wonderful things about it. And I don't find that courageous, that nearly so-called dying or putting yourself in being gravely ill and sick and dehydrated is a courageous thing. I expect that from any person who wear a baggy green cap or to wear the Australian colours, whether it be in any other sport. I don't find that courageous. I think it's what's expected.
502 minutes, racked by cramp and vomiting, and 27 fours, 2 sixes. 502 minutes in that heat. There was you probably don't remember it, but when Gavaskar suggested feed him some lime, that'll make him feel better, and then you threw that up as well. And have you got any recollection of really what went on after you got to 100?
Hardly anything at all. I've seen some tapes, and sadly, even the master tape of it has been chewed up by Deodortion and it's been used for other things. But I've seen highlights of it, and how well I did hit them. I think my last 100 came in 70 balls, I think, or something. So. But it wasn't like I wanted to get on a rush. It got to the stage where AB saw my good mate running, but I think we averaged 120 when we batted together, AB and I. But running between the wickets, there was so many times we hit the ball 3/4 out towards the boundary and we only walked one. We didn't even bother coming in. The game, it must have happened 10 or 15 times, and the game ended up in a tie. So, we declared twice and all that. I really can't. The only bit I do remember a little bit is when I woke up. I passed out in the rooms, and I woke up drinking a Fanta or a Limca, and I'm thinking, oh, how good's this taste? And I hopped in a bath full of ice, and I sort of had the enormity of what's going on. It didn't feel cold. It felt like lukewarm. When you put your hand in ice, it's just like, oh, I can't do it. But it just felt like a warm bath to me. So obviously I'm in a little bit of shock or whatever like that. And I batted the last half an hour without my thigh pad and my box on because Greg Matthews and Steve Ward didn't think it would be wise to put it on my body before going out to bat after tea. So that was written in Steve Ward's book, but I can't remember that. And then I got out of the bath and the heat hit me again and I passed out and unconscious for a while.